Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to the part 2 of our fixtures reaction show. Obviously, this morning we were live. Do check back and watch that. Nearly 1,000 of you have already done so in the space of a day. Myself, the Cruncher, and Jordan were discussing the opening fixtures that were released this morning at 9 a.m. And here we are looking at our favourite away day or our first away day, one we're most looking forward to, dreading. The Carabao Cup was drawn today at 2:30. We'll discuss that. The Papa John's, everything you can come to expect from Talking Town inside 30 minutes. Live chat as always. If you want to get involved, please do so. Use that live chat. Use a live link when it comes flying in. The holiday request forms have been submitted. The fixture list is out. We will show it again very soon. Before we do, I want to say a huge thank you. It's nearly July, but it's the summer. Pre-season hasn't even started yet, but this week we had nearly 8,000 views on the platform. For June, phenomenal. So thank you so much for continuing to come back time and time again and choosing Talking Town for your Ipswich Town FC content or a part of your ITFC content. Truly, thank you so much. We are giving away, I guess as a way of saying thank you, some prizes. We have some shirt giveaways. If we can hit the subscriber total of 4,000, we've got season tickets that can be given to charity. If we reach 4,000, there's a huge giveaway update. Obviously, if we do hit 4,000, Cruncher will buy 2 tickets to use in the community, and that just means people that are subscribed to the channel could win game by game. You can win all the home games if you are lucky enough. You might only win one, you might win none, but it's to be used within the community. As I say, the giveaway update has all the details. Just to give you an update of where we are currently, we are 3,701 subscribers. So we're certainly in. We can see the end target. Let's now go and make it happen, and let's get some season tickets to a charity, which hopefully we can announce who that may be soon. If you do have a charity you feel could benefit, then please email homedressingroom89@gmail.com with who they are, and we'll look into it. Can't promise anything, obviously. As I say, all the details on the giveaway update. Lewis Robinson's in the room. Good evening, Lewis. Evening all. Expect a big crowd for Friends reunited in the Carabao Cup. Fixture release and cup draw makes it also a bit more exciting. Next 5 weeks need to hurry up. And still, good evening, everyone. The fixtures are in. Bring on the new season. EJ, good evening, all. TT, good evening, TJ. Good evening, AD, another one of our YouTube members. You can also become a YouTube member the same way these people have on the screen by clicking the links available in the description or in the live chat. If you get value from what we do, if you enjoyed any type of content that we produce, you can support us from as little as £5 a month. But as always, our content is free at the point of access and is completely and will always remain so. So you do not need to do so if you can't. I know times are tricky for a lot of people. Mike D, nice to hear from McKenna today. Definitely hinting at further transfers. Simon Edwards, good evening, everyone. Looking forward to a few away fixtures now. I'm based in Yorkshire. Love it. And Harry says, we love the shows. We love you, Harry. We love you. Right. Amy, you're back. You're here. How are you doing? Welcome in. You're absolutely fine. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Just dealing with children and life. When the most important thing that happened this morning, I was texting my mum because my youngest has been sick. He's had a bit of a sick bug, bless him. So my mum was like, "Oh, is he all right?" And I didn't get a chance to reply to that. And then the next like 5 messages were me telling Dad what games were what day. And then I was like,
brilliant.
That's absolutely the more important thing.
Brilliant. I love it. That's exactly. And as Ant still has said, the holiday forms have gone in. It's an important time the fixture released. I mean, a lot of people build the next 8 to 10 months of their lives around this fixture card.
Absolutely. I've been really struggling lately because my friends are all trying to like arrange when we meet up, and people started talking about September. I'm like, well, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait for a bit because I can't put anything in my diary at the minute.
Absolutely.
Except holidays, annoyingly. I've already got most of August and the end of July booked out for holidays, and it's now meaning that I'm going to miss some pretty cracking away games.
Are you away?
I am. I am. But one of the holidays is in the Norfolk Broads, and that just so happens to be ending On the day we've got MK Dons at home, so I may see if I can persuade hubby to take a swing by Suffolk before we go down to Cornwall.
It's not too far from the Norfolk Broads. It's not really much of a detour at all. More of a hunt for a low costing petrol station these days. Adam says we're not top 6.
I thought you were just going to say like actual human beings. Having been in Norfolk for a week, I'm going to need to go back to civilization, aren't I?
Be kind. If you're not top 6 by start of April, we'll still be in League One for another year. Tough start as well. Lewis says living in Colchester, the cup draw is a big deal around here. We'll come to that very shortly. Coxie, just admit it, Amy, the first picture you looked for was Accrington and Stanley away.
I'm sure we'll come on to that one in a minute.
Yes, we will. Well, let's head there now. Actually, let's look at the first 5 fixtures. We touched on it obviously this morning very briefly. Let's look at it again. You've got Bolton starting off at home, July 30th. Normally, it would be the traditional sort of pre-season opener, really, wouldn't it, Amy? July 30th. I don't know what's happened to my screen, but there we go. But it's not. It's the season opener. We know that through the World Cup. So Bolton at home. What do you think of that one?
It feels like a decent enough one to start off with, doesn't it? It feels like a show what we're made of, but not too taxing, I would have thought. But interesting reading today on Twitter, lots of people saying that annoyingly it's the first home game they're ever gonna first home game, if that makes sense. First game of the season that they're missing because of it being in July. And I think a lot of people, like myself, will be on holiday that week. I'm away in Scarborough because that's the day before my first anniversary. So yeah, a lot of people will be planned to be away on that weekend. So it is a shame. And I know traditionally, I do know of a lot of people who plan their holidays so that they're back for the first weekend of August and the start of the season. So it's going to be a bit of a funny one this year, I think. Really odd starting that early on.
Yeah, and I think the opening games will take that flavour as well. I think they'll take on a little bit of a pre-season feel. Particularly with nights like tonight, will still be happening. The sun is setting, it's warm, it's normally the time where you're watching Lee Martin score 25 yards against Southend in a pre-season friendly type vibes. It's not normally actually meaning anything as early as it is.
That's so true. We're going to have there's 3 cracking weekends, isn't there? There's
and the Tuesday
no matter
as well.
what, it'll be nice and warm in July. Imagine going to the game and popping to Isaac's and sitting in the marina afterwards and sitting by the waterfront and having a drink in the sun. It'll be gorgeous. That'll be really lovely.
It will.
Milton Keynes will be nice and early on in August, so hopefully that'll be the same. And then even Barnsley, bank holiday weekend. So we've got 3, hopefully. Nice home games to start the season off. And imagine if we get the atmosphere really going in those first games. And MK Dons, I think we've got, I wouldn't say a rivalry exactly, but I would imagine they'll bring a few to us and that'll probably be a good atmosphere. And Barnsley, bless them, they normally bring a few hundred down, don't they? So
yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't say rivalry. I would say they were a team that were in the playoffs last year. So a team we have to sort of measure ourselves against until it proves otherwise whether they will be as good again or not. I think what sort of stuck out to me was the first Tuesday game is normally a September game, and you get 1, possibly 2 Tuesday nights where it's nice, and then it's freezing cold all of a sudden, and that's when you really feel like you're into the season. But because we're starting so early, as you can see, we've got Burton away on the Tuesday, then a Tuesday, so you're going to have a couple more Tuesdays potentially where it's nicer, longer, just sort of sustaining that period or that feeling of, I wouldn't say apathy, but I also wouldn't say, it's vitally important. It's a really strange time, I think is the only way you can describe it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like at the end of the season, we always talk about the players, they're on the beach already. And not necessarily them, but certainly the fans. Are we all going to still feel like we're on our summer holidays? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Working yourself into condition. That conditioning is a big factor. Get a couple of comments. We have got Danielle Arnold. McKenna should lead us to the Premiership. We will return no matter what. I like that. I like that a lot. Good evening, Ben. Hope you are well. Do you go to away games, Guv? Danielle, I absolutely try to go to away games. I do have a disability which does make it a little bit tricky. I also seem to run a podcast platform that upsets some people, as evidenced by one away day I did last year. But you never say never. There's a couple I've got my eye on, which we'll come to later on in the show. But I just host this show. Amy's the away day guru. Just that's me titling her there. That's not her telling me I must call her the away day guru.
Absolutely. We've got some incredible away day guys on the show, haven't we? Between Callie and Cruncher, they both go to so
and
many.
Goat.
And I was just thinking that Stephen Parry goes to a lot of the northern ones like me. Coxey, I'm sure I've seen him at away games as well. There's quite a few of us that are involved in the show and we do love an away day. That's why this show came around.
It did, yeah. David Pascoe, I think I'm going to Accrington so as to offer support for Sam Morsey and shout out Ethan Hamilton, shout out Andy Holt. Emerson is falling prey, as you were just saying a couple of minutes ago, Amy. He's gutted to miss the first game. There's going to be a few like that. And Harry asked attendance for the first game. What do you think that's going to be? Bolton at home, what's the attendance going to be opening day, do you think? 23,000 says AJ Norris.
On one side of it, it's the holidays, so you might get more families, but then on the other side of it, you might not get many families because it's the holidays. So it will be interesting to see whether it being that early does impact the numbers. But I can't help but feel with the incredible season ticket sales we've had and the hype around the club, because let's be honest, things are tight and not everyone can afford to go away this summer. So actually a nice day out at the football might be a good alternative activity for when the kids are home or just to enjoy the nice weather. And I know I'm looking forward to just having a day out in Ipswich, but hopefully for MK Dons, so that it'll just be part of my summer for me. So don't know. Interesting. That will be interesting to see which way it affects it, whether it makes it better or worse. Holidays are usually better, I think, for attendance, aren't they?
Cost of living crisis will come into play as well. The few clips we had from the hospitality breakfast club, I'll call it, this from this morning, where Mark Steed was in attendance with Kieran McKenna and Mark Ashton, who, by the way, if you haven't seen any clips, seem to have coordinated their footwear. Love that. Look at that. Look, our brain trust, even in sync down to the shoes on their feet. You got to love that if you're a synergy sort of guy like I am. But he said the fans stood behind the club long enough through when times were really bad. It's about time the club stood behind the fans. So, I'm just drawing that and I'm thinking, okay, cool. We'll see what comes out as we move through the year. I know we had the Pack Out PR campaign where, that was great value and gave many people the opportunity to get to a game. Will that be the case again? Is there more? I just think the club are going to do a lot this year. I think the club really are ready to step forward and grasp a nettle of that marketing that you were talking about only about a week ago, Amy.
Definitely. Absolutely. This for me is the big deal. Like the shirt, it's all a bit of fun, isn't it? It's all a bit like great to hear everybody's opinions and great to have your own opinions and stuff like that. And even the signings, I know, have caused a little bit of uproar in some of the reactions this week. Exactly. That's just, for me, that's part of the BS of the pre-season. But this is where shit starts to get real. This is where I can really start thinking about what's going to happen, and you can start picturing what our run-in's going to be like and what our Christmas is going to be like and what games we're going to be at and things like that. So it just starts to feel like, right, okay, we're actually getting on with it now. And I always feel like as well, there's a lot of stuff online about players being back at training now and things like that. So it actually does feel like we're starting to get going again. So, and you're like, that big hole that was left in my life for a month is back again now.
Absolutely. Well, I've got tickets for the first pre-season game this Saturday away at Needham. Let me know if you're going to that. If you're watching this on catch up, let me know in the comment section or find me on social media. Love to grab some thoughts and comments of town fans while I'm there, whether the camera's on or not, irrelevant. Love to just meet up. But yeah, I'm should be, all fingers crossed, touch wood, going to the first pre-season. You've got the fixtures release, as you just said. It starts to become just a little bit more real and on the horizon of coming out of the wilderness, the pre-season.
Here we go again,
yeah, but it's not every year. I don't know about you. I'm always here we go again. It's about here we go again. The moment I'm here we go again. I don't think I could probably do what I do, because if I'm like that in June, come November, I'm going to be
just not going to make it through.
I'm going to be hiding at 8:28 on a Wednesday night. No, go away. So, first 5 games, let me just ask you for a points return. You've got Bolton, Forest Green, Milton Keynes, Burton, Shrewsbury, and Barnsley. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. What do you think out of the first 15?
Oh, I'm going to go with 10.
10. Okay.
That feels quite high.
That feels quite low.
Oh, do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I really do. I'd love to know what the chat feel about that as we move ourselves on to Archie, what's my disability? We'll find out. Come to Needham Market. I mean, you can't miss me. Big old walking stick. Joe, I lost a walking stick in a pond. I lent it up to pick my boy up, and there was a gap in the wood, and it fell straight through.
Did you have to climb in and get it out?
Did I hell? Did I hell? No, I just left it there. I walked back to the car. But the point was, I got in trouble because I said, "Oh, sugar," and the other half said, "Don't swear." And I was like, "I just lost my walking stick." What is your reaction going to be? It's only going to be like a Mary Poppins yippee yippee yay, is it, or whatever? It's going to be a.
Have you not tried the? But darling, I'm a grown-up. I can say what I like. Thank you. It's you that's not allowed to say the bad words.
No, I haven't. I'll have to remember that. Store that in the back of the mind. Anyway, first away day, Forest Green. Is it? I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably a place you've not been before.
Yeah, absolutely right. It was one on my list, but with a vague understanding, strong understanding that I knew I probably would struggle to get tickets for this one because this is going to be sold out on gold members for definite, especially with it being first away game of the season. But this is the one me and my mates picked out, and I know they'll definitely be going because they've been really looking forward to it. So new ground tick, that's always a popular one, I imagine. I should imagine they're probably going to have to be scraping around for extra tickets for us because we are going to.
Well, it's not a huge allocation, you know. It's about 1,000.
Like 1,000 or something, isn't it?
Yeah. You're going to have to be a gold member straight off the bat to get anywhere near that.
Special day that'll be.
Pompey away with the Christmas break works well for us, says Craig at Portsmouth. I bet it does, Craig.
Us as well.
Love it. So what's your first away day going to be then, guys? Amy, what's yours going to be? What's your first away day?
Well, Coxie hit the nail on the head. I'm away on the for Shrewsbury. In fact, I'll be travelling back from Cornwall on that day, so I won't be able to make that. But so the first away day that I can make it to once I'm back from my travels over the summer is, of course, Accrington Stanley, my worst away game, where I swore I would never ever go again. I'll be there.
Oh, everyone, yeah, I won't be at the Wham Stadium, but I'm glad you will be representing the TT. So Accrington Stanley's your first away day, missing Shrewsbury, missing Burton, and of course missing Forest Green. Anthony Steele, 4 new grounds for me: Forest Green, Bristol Rovers, Port Vale, and Exeter.
Oh, Bristol,
Lewis, first away game will be Burton Tuesday night. That's the first away game I'm eyeing. I probably won't. But it's the first away game I'm certainly eyeing. I don't know. Probably Charlton away in October, Saturday. Maybe.
Always going to be a big one. Finally on a Saturday. We haven't had many London games on a Saturday. In fact, Charlton was Tuesday, wasn't it, last season?
It was. So yeah, we were in disarray by that point.
That'll be massive. It's also near Halloween, isn't it? I always think that Halloween half-term games are always quite fun as well. So I don't know why they just seem to, the holidays and stuff seem to get everybody in a good mood. So you never know. We might be able to have some fun with that one, with the fact that it's Halloween, but nearly Halloween anyway. But yeah, that's got to be a massive one, hasn't it? Blooming typical that we're going back to Morecambe in the winter.
Well, this is it, and I am limited. I do have to draw a ring round my away days, so it's because I can't spend forever in a car. I just cannot do that. So the London ones, particularly, or the ones around, like Wickham's, your Charltons, Cambridges for sure. Although that didn't go well for me last year, admittedly. MK Dons.
Don't worry about it. You won't have to face that person again.
Well, multiple, but yeah, you know, there's a few I will look at. I always think though, away days, and I don't know about you. You're more of a hardened away day than I am. It's how the team are doing. It's how you know, I could potentially sit in a car for 3.5 hours if I know my team's going to turn up. Too often over the last 10 years, I ain't been too sure if I turn up, will they turn up?
Yeah. I know what you mean, but I'm the complete opposite. I'm looking at that now, and I've got I'll do that. I should be able to do that. I'll have to try and save up so I can do 2 that month. I'll definitely be there at that one in April. And Fleetwood on the last day of the season, I'm just going to have to beg, borrow, and steal to be able to go to that because I expect that'll be popular. Once we've won the league and stuff.
Yeah,
So it's that
Posh away.
no matter what we're
that.
doing, no matter how much we're struggling, I know that those dates are the ones that I'll be going to, because it's, for me, it's more about I'm so much more limited on what games I can go to. For me, it's like, yeah, I'm that's what fits into my life, so that's when I'm going to be able to go there, definitely.
Yeah.
For me, it's the day out, it's the away day, it's the seeing my friends, spending the day with people I love, and enjoying the trip. Even though I am absolutely going to hate being back at Accrington and losing again, I know that that's going to be the first time I see all my mates since April, so it's going to be really special.
True, absolutely, yeah. Peterborough, Rob, I'm well up for that. Love a bit of Peterborough. Derby, I can do Derby. I've done Bolton before, but I don't know if I'll bother doing that. Although it is March. I think I did Bolton in like November last time. Never again. Never ever again.
Barnsley away, as you can see on the tweets on the right-hand side. That's 2 days after my birthday. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
final birthday of my 30s, and I'm going to be celebrating it in Barnsley. Surely it's drinks on everyone else.
Nah, the birthday girl always buys the drinks. That's the rules. Dave, I see it. Needham, Archie. David, my wife wants to go on a summer residential week in the Lake District. I may treat her to 2 of them so I can chalk Morecambe and Fleetwood off. David, playing 3D chess. I like it.
Love it.
Harry, my colleague is a posh fan. I might sneak into the home end with her, as tickets will be hard to get. Again, 3D chess. I like it. Mark Dowling, evening. We can't afford those draws this season against the likes of Forest Green. If we are to get promoted, 11-15 by end of August should be the realistic target. Absolutely. Isn't a away day you're dreading, Amy, and the chat? Isn't a away day you see it and you think, do you know what? I don't like the travel. I don't like the ground. They don't serve beer like Watford never do. And we just don't ever seem to get anything there, like Watford, funnily enough. But obviously, we're not playing Watford this year. Is there a way that you're sort of dreading for whatever reason that may be?
It would be Accrington, because I've never seen us win there, and I've been every year since we've been in the same league as them, except for the COVID year. So it would be that, but because that's going to be the first one back, that's going to be really special for me. So I tend to avoid the Midlands ones because I would have to drive to them, and let's be honest, no one wants to drive on an away day. So I wouldn't dread them because I tend to choose one that I can get to. Like January's not great for me for away games. They're all sort of driving ones because trains are way too much to go like outside of Yorkshire at the minute. So I will be dreading January because I'm probably going to struggle to get to any games that month. But then I might do 2 in December to make up for it. So
there you go. I'm actually going to go for 2 because there's a couple of doubles throughout the year where you've got Cambridge and Bristol Rovers at home. You've got Fleetwood and Peterborough in December, both at home. You've got Morecambe and Plymouth, both at home. Portsmouth and Lincoln back-to-back away games there. But I'm looking at the Wednesday and the Plymouth in September, and I'm not dreading it, but I can see already how tough of an end to September, and then equally a tough start to October. That's actually going to be, Wednesday and Plymouth back-to-back away games. Both were really good teams last year. Wednesday are certainly winning the summer so far. Can Plymouth keep up what they put together last year remains to be seen. But at this point, all being considered, for me, Amy, that's a really tough stretch because you've got Accrington and Cambridge to start that month, where again, last year, we didn't beat Cambridge home or away. And as you just said, Accrington and Stanley, you've never seen us get anything from. So that month in itself could be a really ouch month.
April makes me a little bit nervous as well with Derby, Wycombe, Charlton, Peterborough.
Yeah.
In the build up to the end of the season, that could really see us trip up. But what I would say is that, do you know what? we are Ipswich. We think we're going to do great against the little teams, and we never do, and then we expect to get battered by the big teams, and we don't. So it's we are unpredictable. What was the phrase? Our consistency is our inconsistency.
Absolutely. Although looking at April, I mean, we don't know what's happening with Derby, with Mike Ashley, or whoever.
Yeah.
Wickham, you expect a tough game on the Friday, obviously the Easter. Cheltenham, you would say we have to do a lot better, and we should do a lot better than we did last year.
Yeah.
Charlton. So every hard game is almost cushioned by a more winnable game, I'll say. So Wickham, followed by Cheltenham. Charlton, followed by Port Vale. Peterborough, followed by Exeter at home. So if you are in the mix, which we hope you are in the business end of the campaign, you don't, or certainly you're not playing Peterborough, Wickham, Oxford, Portsmouth as you are in December over the Christmas period. If that was the end of the season period, that's ouch.
Yeah.
Do you know what
that
I mean?
was the
That's
other thing I was looking at was Boxing Day. Then, so Oxford on Boxing Day, Portsmouth away on Thursday. Is that 29th or 28th?
Yeah, 29th. Yeah,
29th,
and then Lincoln away on New Year's Day. Yeah,
it's just they're also close together as well, aren't
they? They are at Christmas, aren't they? That's what I love about English football. I mean, obviously a lot of the foreign managers coming in don't tend to like the Christmas schedule. I love it. I love the Boxing Day, the New Year's Day, the game in between. I love. That's when seasons can be won or lost for me.
Yeah, because you lose a player through injury and you're screwed, and they're all knackered because they're playing so many games in one go that you get more likely to have. That's when you get hit with injuries. Nah, that makes me nervous. That does. Too many games in one go there.
Another fixture released today, 2:30, was the Carabao Cup. We have drawn Colchester. Friends reunited in round one. We had Newport last year. I think a crowd of like 6,700 was there, something along those lines. 3 questions. Are you bothered? Will we beat the attendance from last year? How far do you want to go in the Fizzy Cup?
So I do think that last year I ended up with a bit of egg on my face, sort of. My belief has always been I'm not bothered about the cup. The league is what matters. But I do totally understand the argument that the further you go, the more it helps the momentum and building a new team, as we are going to be again with the new signings. I know it's not from scratch like it was last year, but I can see the argument for both of it. But for me, I couldn't give a flying if we get knocked out. I really couldn't.
Love it.
But I think it'll be fun to have. I do think it's fun to have Colchester, isn't it? So.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean, well, more than 6,000 there. Do you think?
What was it last year?
About 6,000, I think. Yeah.
Again, it's like you say, it's the cost of living, it's the holidays. It's hard to predict, isn't it? It'll be really interesting to see. But
the only thing that might help it's Colchester, and it's obviously a lot of fans haven't got that far to travel for either home or away. I ain't bothered by the Carabao.
It's the closest thing we'll get to a local derby this year, surely.
Well, you've got Cambridge. You've got PR.
Yeah, well, they might think that's a local derby, but it isn't.
By geography, it certainly is. I'd like to beat Colchester. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to because winning culture is a good culture, and it's a culture that you can build and grow over time. And losing culture is certainly one that can take hold of a football club, as we know all too well. But I ain't overly bothered if we don't go past round one. It's a cup that we're not expected to obviously win. Don't be so stupid. Whereas the Papa John's, I would take that a little bit more seriously than we have done, and certainly a little bit more seriously than the Carabao Cup, because that is a route to Wembley. You are playing against teams in your own field. And I think from the outside looking in, it's a good way of getting some feel-good factor into the football club. Rotherham managed to always, put together good Papa John's seasons and still win promotion. You don't have to have one or the other in football. We seem to have fallen through the trapdoor of Welltown fans. You can either have a cup game or win promotion. It doesn't work like that.
Isn't that from years and years of hurt, where on the seasons where we've had a good run, we've had terrible league seasons, but
where is it from?
For years and years we've got knocked out so early, especially under McCarthy, that it was kind of like the comfort was like, well, we're concentrating on the league. So it just feels like it's it's an excuse and it makes up for the fact that we're out. It's like maybe it's our heads trying to protect us from the pain, where we're saying no, it's fine, we're not bothered. It doesn't matter if we don't go out. Don't get excited about going to Wembley because there's just no point.
So I'm almost like a defense mechanism, because
yes, definitely
we've been utter tosh in cups for the last, I'll say 20, could be longer, could be shorter, but we haven't won promotion either in those 20 years. So I think it's about time we just play to win. It's a game of football, 90 minutes, play it to win it. You know, obviously rotate the squad as you have to, keep players fresh and happy.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it's come into, this mindset of cup games hurts us, because I can never, honestly, hand on heart, not remember a season where we look back and we say, in my lifetime, this is not in Colin's lifetime, in my lifetime, and say, you know, we would have done something if only we hadn't had that cup run.
Well, the year that we got relegated from the Premier League
wasn't because of the cup run.
No, well, it was definitely partly down to the fact that we had all those Europe games.
It was down to the fact the squad just weren't good enough. Beating 4-1 away at Bolton, that's not good enough. That's not that squad was. I would put it down to management, but this is a whole new show in itself. But
yeah,
I wouldn't say the European tour that year was the reason why it resulted in us getting relegated. Perhaps I'm wrong in that, but I wouldn't necessarily attribute the two together.
The other argument, I do believe it was a contributing factor. But the other argument is, if we hadn't have got into Europe, I don't think the club would have got quite so carried away in terms of all the money they spent. You know, we finished fifth. Well, absolutely brilliant. Like, let's keep rolling with it. But we did too much too quickly, and it came back to bite us. So I think that at the end of the day, the other thing as well is, when you think back, the only example I can think of, and I couldn't tell you which game it was, or games plural, but I'm sure Didsey always ended up getting injured in the cups.
Yeah, that's true. That can happen, yeah.
And that for me is the worry. Like, I mean, if anyone watching can tell us what game did Caden Jackson get injured in last season, I can't remember off the top of my head. But you lose a player like that, and that is losing him affected the end of our season for definite.
Yeah,
and
it was a league game
as well.
It was definitely a league game.
Was it? Damn, that doesn't prove my point then, does it?
No,
but
no.
The point is, you lose a player and you lose the shape of the team that you've been building. So for me, I would rather not risk. But then on the other side of it, the cup gives the fringe players a chance to show themselves and get their way into the team, and the competition between players helps the team. So
there you go, Mike D. Cambridge at home. Yeah, it was. I think it was Cambridge at home. I think you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Baker doesn't care if we go out of every cup in the first round. If we get promoted in the end of the season. Same. Emerson, on the other hand, said we need a winning mentality. Winning breeds confidence. Lewis, we can't lose to Colchester, and he's hiding. I think that's probably more because he knows a few Colchester United fans. All right, as we close tonight's show, Amy, the fixture you're most looking forward to, the one that you've circled about 800 times, we're looking out for before it came out, and will definitely, hell or high water, will not be missing.
Oh gosh, so I do think it might be Portsmouth. My hubby went to uni there, and we've been dying for Ipswich to have a game on a Saturday so we could go down and spend the day in Portsmouth and he can see his friends. I know it isn't a Saturday, but we've talked about booking a couple of nights there, and one of us having the kids on one day and the other one having the kids on the other day, so we can both go out and explore Portsmouth and have a nice time. So that one at the minute, but I think that's because we're looking at hotels and trying to plan it. That's definitely a special one. I'd really like to do Fleetwood Town. There is something in my heart that is telling me I'm going to be there celebrating us winning the league.
I like it.
And one of the first fixtures I looked for was Barnsley, because Barnsley away is one of my favourites. I absolutely love it. So anybody who's going to that, I know it's a bit of a way away, but you'll have to come and see me and have a pint, because I do enjoy that as an away day. It's great fun.
Looking forward to MK Dons myself. I think they're a team that most resemble us, and in the way that we play, the way that Liam Manning has his team playing, the way that Kieran McKenna wants us to play. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what sort of test that provides early on in August. Do we stand up to it? Do we match it? Are we short of it? Are we better than we expected by this point? Just, the sort of game that without attributing heavyweight Premier League proportions to it, just a game where it's two teams that you expect to play the right way, going at it and leaving nothing else out there, and it's at home. So can we defend our own territory against a perceived challenger, if you like? Because last year, I think too often we weren't as dominant enough. Like Charlton last game of the season is how I want us to be, not necessarily the scoreline, but the dominance. Just this is our game, our turf, our stadium, our fans, our ball, our goal, our grass. You ain't getting none of it. You want it, you have to fight for it, because we're asserting dominance, and I want to see that a lot more, particularly at home. And perhaps players like Don Ball signing will bring that to the party, maybe.
Definitely. And there's no excuses this year of the team needs time to gel.
No,
they're already there. We are already at the starting blocks, ready to go straight off when the gun goes off. So there's no excuses. We have got to come out of this straight away, exactly as you said. Stating our power, stating our intentions for the year. Those first 5 games, there's none that look terrifying. Let's show everybody what we're made of.
Famous last words. Anyway, right, hit that subscribe button. Get to 4,000. Crunch's wallet gets prized open. Shirts, giveaways. Amy, anything else before we leave?
Just to let everybody know that the away day show is back again next season. This season, can we start saying this season now it's out?
I think we can. I think we can.
Yeah. Martin and I have been talking about what we want to do with it this year, so we're really, really excited to be able to have that. So thank you. That's all down to you guys and the lovely feedback that you've been giving us online and me in person as well, which has been wonderful. And I am going to be looking for guest speakers, from people to come on and chat to us from other clubs. So if you know of any good vlogs like this one, any podcast, any good podcasters, anyone that chats a lot online, give us a shout. I'm going to get out there and see who I can find. And if you are going to an away game and you'd like to come and chat about it on the show, then let us know, because we would love to see you. And come and look after me at Accrington and make sure I make sure I don't paddy when we lose 3-0 again.
And obviously, like everything else, we've got new artwork. Do you want to see the little sneak preview of our first away day thumbnail?
I would love it.
There it is.
Very
good.
Look
at that.
Oh, that's exciting seeing them all there.
That is good. Yeah, you got a nice little clump where you are up there. But yeah,
Plymouth all the way down the bottom, look.
Yeah. Good work. Really good work. Right, we're back later on. Keep watching. The weekend schedule is a bit up in the air at the moment. We have got a special 8 p.m. Sunday night. Keep your eyes peeled on social media for the reveal on that one. Other than that, we shall be back at some points. So keep your eyes peeled. But until then, adios. You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down or when I get blue, I can't get enough. Oh, there's love. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Oh, there's love. Oh, there's love. Soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you.